Good evening and welcome to OG Dweeb. Here is the third and final video of the Rivals Edition two-player games. This is Sorry. We've already gone over Clue Rivals Edition and the Game of Life Rivals Edition. Now, one thing I'd like to point out right away is that this Sorry game is ages 6 and up, whereas the other two are ages 8 and up. So if you're looking for something for a bit younger child, this would probably be the best choice for you. Again, I'm really curious to see what the differences are. Right away, we notice there's only 3 pawns instead of 4 per player. There's our cards. And let's go ahead and dig in. Okay, so we've gotten the lid off. And we'll go ahead and take a look. Looks like we've got the nice old school pawns that the original game came with. No need to punch them out of any kind of plastic framing. That's nice. And then here are the cards. Move forward one. These seem to be the same as they've always been, just different numbers. All right, the board down here, same as with the other two, just regular quality cardboard, not thick game board. Let's see what we got here. All right, the board is very reminiscent of the old school 4-player. So let's go ahead and take a look at the directions. Sorry, Rivals Edition contents. Game board, 36 cards, 3 red pawns, 3 blue pawns. Beat your opponent by getting your pawns home first. Shuffle the deck, place all the pawns in their start spaces, and deal 5 cards to each player. Alright, let's take a look. It's been a while since I've actually played Sorry. I do have a copy of it. It just hasn't hit the table in, honestly, several years. Let's play. Youngest player goes first. Oh boy, I get to go first every time I play with Old Man OG. Ha! Players move clockwise around on your turn. Play one of the cards from your hand. Then draw a card. Interesting, so you don't just randomly get a card. Starting pawn, moving around the board. Pawns move clockwise unless a card instructs them to do otherwise. You may jump over your own or another's pawn if it is in your way, counting it as 1 space. You may land on a space that's already occupied by an opponent's pawn. If this happens, bump that pawn back to its own colored start space. Oh, and isn't that fun? 2 pawns of the same color may never occupy the same space except for the start and home. If your only possible move would make you land on a space already occupied by one of your pawns, you forfeit your turn. Interesting. If at any time you cannot move, you forfeit your turn. If at any time you can move, you must move, even if it would put you at a disadvantage. You may move to home space if you roll either the exact number of spaces or a higher number. Roll? Wait a minute, we've got cards. I caught a typo. Or, I don't know if we call it, that's not correct. So if there are 4 spaces to reach home and you roll a 6, you play a 6 card, you may go home. Note that when you turn off the white track, you must count 2 spaces to get to home, not 1. Anytime you land, by exact count on the triangle at the beginning of a slide that includes your color, slide ahead to the end and bump any pawns in your way, including your own, back to their own start spaces. If you land on a slide that does not include your color, don't slide. Just stay put on the triangle. First player to get all 3 pawns into his home slot is the winner. Now that's interesting. The cards 1, 2, and 3, yet they want me to roll a 6 on a non-existent dice. I'm pretty surprised that they would have a mistake that big left in the directions. Interesting. Move one of your pawns forward. So that's self-explanatory. Here we go. Okay, but still, insinuating that you roll a dice, that's still a pretty big typo / mistake. 4, 5, 6, and then the Sorry. Move a pawn from your start area to take the place of another player's pawn, which must return to its own start area, or move one of your pawns forward 2 spaces. And, yeah. This is going to be a lot better as far as for time constraints is concerned for 2 players, definitely. So, yeah, this one looks like it's going to be some fun. Hopefully it doesn't start any arguments. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little unboxing, and I will talk to you later.